Hi guys. Our family went to two different graduation parties this last weekend. And at one of the parties, the family asked for favorite books that people have read to share with their graduate, and the other family asked for life advice. And when I was at the party, it was a lot of pressure to come up with what are my very favorite books ever that I've read. So I just picked my favorite book that I always say is my favorite book, which is The Happiness Project by Gretchen Rubin. And so I'm going to make two different videos. One is going to be my 25 books that have changed my life. And then I think it's 9 things that I came up with, 9 pieces of advice. So this is going to be my 25 favorite books. So I wanted to share the title of the book and then just why I love it so much. So the first one, and this is not in any particular order at all. I just really love all these books and they changed my life in some way. So the first one is called The Birth Order Book by Dr. Kevin Leman, and it's called Why You Are the Way You Are. If you have not read this book yet, I highly recommend it. I am the oldest in my family. I have 3 siblings. My mother is the youngest. My dad is the second youngest. And reading this book helped me understand better what my relationship is with my parents, with my siblings. My husband is the second of 3 children. And it was interesting learning about how Connor being the oldest, Kelly being the youngest, but the only girl, she's kind of like the oldest. Anyway, it's really interesting learning about how you have certain characteristics just by where you fall into your family. So if you haven't read this one, I highly recommend it. It is a really great book. The second one is Cheaper by the Dozen, and this is by Frank G. Gilbreth Jr. and Ernestine Gilbreth Carey. So it's a husband and a wife. They have a ton of children. It's a very large family. And this book is basically about how to be efficient in literally everything in the household, in the home, in the family, and then also just the ups and downs of having a very large family. It's very funny and it helps you figure out how you can be a little bit more efficient in your own home. And I just love it because I too like to utilize my time very wisely. So it was fun to read it and see, I do that too. That's a cool thing. And it's just hilarious reading about a very large family. So I recommend this one a lot. The next one is number 3. This is called Celebration by Geraldine Asplund Edwards. And this one is just basically how to make life something to celebrate. And what's really cool about this one, I bought this, I think, on Thrift Books. But look, the author actually signed this copy and gave it to a friend. And I treasured this. It says, "Dearest Gretchen, wishing you a joyous birthday. Your life is a celebration. What a wonderful and remarkable friend you are. Much love, Geraldine." When I saw that her friend had given that up, I was sad for her friend, but also really excited for myself because I got to have the book that she actually signed. And this one is just how to see life as a beautiful thing and how to keep your eyes open for blessings around you. It's just a darling book. Also by Geraldine Asplund Edwards, this one is called Things I'd Wished I'd Known Sooner. And the title basically is exactly what this is. It's just all of the life advice and things she has received over the years. And then this is what I wish I had known so that I could be able to teach my children and others. And it's personal discoveries of a mother of 12. She also had lots of children. So it's just a really fun book about how to see things around you and then share it with other people. So when you learn something, you can share it with someone else. Okay. What am I on? 5. This is The Anatomy of Peace, and it is from the Arbinger Institute. It's Resolving the Heart of Conflict. We really can have world peace. It is quite possible. And this book actually teaches us how that can come about. So if you want to learn how to bring peace to the world and to your little corner that can ripple and domino effect all around you, this has the solution. Number 6 is Tuesdays with Morrie. An Old Man, a Young Man, and Life's Greatest Lesson. And this is by Mitch Albom. I love this book because it talks about how important life is and that death is actually something you can look forward to. And Corey teases me all the time because I say, I'm ready. I'm excited. I can go anytime. And he says, no, I don't want you to leave. I want you to stay. But after reading this book and realizing how much we have to look forward to, I actually am excited to go see Heavenly Father. And I know funerals can be really bittersweet, not knowing that there's something after this life and thinking this life is all that there is. But I actually really love going to funerals because you get to see all the things that the person accomplished and the great things that they've done with their life. And then you get to take those stories and do better in your own life. And this book is basically that. It's a man who's going to die and he's sharing all of his wisdom with one of his former students. And it's a very sweet book. I love it. All right. This is number 7. The 5 Love Languages, The Secret to Love That Lasts. And this is by Gary Chapman. If you have not read this book, you need to rush off and go get it because this helps you understand your relationships with everybody in your family, especially spouses and children, but it helps you understand how you can show love to the people around you because each of us feel and give love differently. And this helps you see how to do that. So if you actually really want to help other people feel loved, this is the book to learn how to do that. Number 8 is also by Gary Chapman, and this book is called Love as a Way of Life, 7 Keys to Transforming Every Aspect of Your Life. I did a book discussion on this because when I finished reading this, I wanted to shout it from the rooftops. This is the kind of book that if everybody read it, the world would completely change and we could solve a lot of problems. But like 5 Love Languages, this teaches you how to love strangers and look at people as a future friend and not just someone in the grocery store. It's someone that Heavenly Father loves, that you can become friends with and that you can learn from and they can learn from you. And each of us can grow through our relationships with those around us. But this is a really good one. All right. The next one is A Beginner's Guide to Constructing the Universe, The Mathematical Archetypes of Nature, Art, and Science by Michael S. Schneider. I really love math, and I love seeing patterns in nature and seeing how things are made and realizing that Heavenly Father is the creator of all of the beautiful things that I love on the earth. And this kind of talks about the science behind that and the patterns and how you can see things throughout nature that they really were created and it all fits together. It's a really cool book. If you like math and you like nature, I recommend reading this one. Okay, the next one, this is number 10, The Happiness Project by Gretchen Rubin. I read this book every couple of years because she had the goal to be more happy. And she thought, how can I do that? What can I do to be more happy? So every single month she did a different project. She broke down different things that she could do to be more happy. And each month of the year, she focused on something different and then kind of analyzed and critiqued how she felt as she went through the project at the end of the year and decided whether her happiness project was successful or not in the fact that she was more happy. And she was. And I've read it and it definitely made me more happy too. And this is the book that I always share. Anytime someone says, what's your favorite book? This is what I share because it is a way to kind of break down what you do in your life and how you can make it better to be more happy and then also share that with others. So highly recommend that one. Okay, number 11 is The Prize Winner of Defiance, Ohio by Terry Ryan. This is also a book. You can see Julianne Moore on the cover of this version of the book. This is one where the book and the movie are actually both just as awesome. Book is always better, but the movie does a really good justice to this story. So Terry Ryan is one of her children, and it says, How My Mother Raised 10 Kids on 25 Words or Less. Evelyn Ryan grew up in a very difficult situation, And she raised her family of 10 children on contesting in the 50s. So this is how she took care of her children, just through contesting and her incredible talent of words. And her daughter, Terry, also had that same talent for writing, and she wrote the story of her mom. But I really love radio contests, any kind of contests, really. If I see a bucket that says, fill out your name, stick it in here and win something, I do it every time. And our family has won some really cool stuff. So when I read this, I really resonated with Evelyn. She's the person I'm very excited to meet in heaven, because I feel like I'm a modern version of her in contesting and the way that we do contests now. But this book is so fun if you want to read about someone who has a positive attitude and is able to make lemonade out of lemons. She is the ultimate example of that. Okay, the next one, this is going to be number 12. Pollyanna. Have you read this book? This is a movie too, but the book by Eleanor H. Porter is just the sweetest book. If you want to read about someone who has a positive attitude and can find goodness in everything around her, Pollyanna is the ultimate example of that. And I love this book so much. It is the sweetest story. Okay. Number 13 is The Chosen. This is a novel by, I think this is how you say it, Chaim Potok. And this is basically how to see good in the people around you, and that traditions really need to stay alive with our culture, with our family, but you also need to be open to learning from other people and other cultures. And this is a book that helps you do that. I absolutely love it. Okay, number 14 is The Hiding Place by Corrie ten Boom. She's another person I'm very excited to meet in heaven. So Corrie ten Boom and her family hid Jewish families in Austria during the war. And it's about how their family was able to hide them, and then they actually got caught and went to concentration camps themselves. And any book about the Holocaust is often very difficult to read, but so necessary, because in reading other people's trials and seeing how they're able to find good in literally the worst scenario possible, it makes your trials feel much smaller. And Corrie ten Boom and her sister were so positive in such terrible situations. And this is the book that really helps you put your life into perspective and realize that there are blessings all around us, no matter what our circumstances are. Okay, number 15 is Team of Rivals. This is by Doris Kearns Goodwin. I did a book description on this one too. This book, if you like Abraham Lincoln, is awesome. I don't know how he made it possible to work with his rivals, but that's exactly what this book is. It talks about how Abraham Lincoln was able to work with people who basically despised him and thought he was just a lowly old lawyer. And it talks about how to work together and see the good in everybody, and then utilize those characteristics for the greater good to work together as a team. This is awesome. I absolutely love Abraham Lincoln, another person I'm excited to meet in heaven. Number 16 is Unbroken by Laura Hillenbrand. I just finished this book. This is actually the most recent book I've read, and I did a book discussion on it as well. This is about Louis Zamperini and his life in POW camps and crash, and how he became an Olympic athlete and survived 47 days on the ocean, traveling 2,000 miles in a life raft with 2 other people. To say that this man is inspiring is an understatement. If you enjoy World War II history and survival stories, I highly recommend this story. Okay, number 17 is The Phantom Toll Booth This book is so fun if you love words. It is by Norton Juster. It's just a fun book. It's very creative, it's very imaginative, and like I said, if you appreciate words, it has so much fun wordplay in it and grammatical, play of words, and it's really fun. This is one of my favorite children's books to read. Number 18. So this is a whole series, but the entire Anne of Green Gables series by L.M. Montgomery. I love gardening. I've always loved gardening. And Anne really appreciates nature and has an amazing imagination. And the descriptions that L.M. Montgomery shares in this book just speak to my heart. I absolutely love them. And Anne is just such a fun, sweet girl. I love all of these stories and seeing her imagination at work. Number 19 is the Little House on the Prairie series. This is by Laura Ingalls Wilder, and it's about a family who survived in the plains and lived coming across the plains. And I love this series because Laura is just so sweet, and she wrote this later in her life, reminiscing about her childhood. And my very favorite book of the whole series is The Long Winter. Where they lived in South Dakota during the time was incredibly cold, and it was very difficult to live back then, and everybody had to help with the family chores just to survive from day to day. And our family is going through a hard time when Connor and Kelly and I read this book together, and it just spoke to my heart. And I knew that if Laura could get through this long winter, our family could get through our own long winter. So it is a book that can buoy you up and realize that through all of the trials that you have, there's something to look forward to, and there really is an end to it. This too shall pass, and each of your trials are something that Heavenly Father has created for you to learn from. And if Laura can get through it, I can get through it. Number 20 is The Secret Garden. This is by Frances Hodgson Burnett. And like I said, because I love gardening, this is one that speaks to my heart because this darling little girl was not loved, and she was kind of abandoned, like the secret garden that she came to. And with help of friends and a little birdie sending her to the little garden, she found it, and she was able to fix it and see the garden grow. And as she worked in nature and appreciated all the flowers and the hard work that comes with gardening, she was able to lighten her heart, and she found love and was a very sweet little girl. And she became a friend to all those around her. And it was through gardening and seeking out nature that she was able to grow and change and be happy. Number 21. I can't find it. It's my favorite children's book. It's called Miss Rumphius, so I'll stick a little picture up of Miss Rumphius. But it is a children's book about a lovely woman who spread lupin seeds all around where she lived. And there were tons and tons of flowers, and she just spread love wherever she went. And Barbara Cooney is the author of that book, and she often writes stories that are based on people in her life, and that was about her great aunt, I think. I need to double check. Anyway, but it's just about how one person can do so much good in the world and share love and light. Number 22 is Life is Messy. This is by Matthew Kelly. And the title kind of tells it in this one. Life is pretty crazy, but there's so much good to be found in your trials and things that you go through. And each of them are personally created for you to grow and become a better person, and then help those around you to grow. So when I read this book, I fell in love with it. And this author, actually, if you want to order more books, he has you just pay for shipping, and he'll send you a ton, and then you can hand them out. And I think I ordered 50 maybe, and I've shared them with that many friends because I just loved it so much. It is such a good book. Okay. Number 23 3 is Grit by Angela Duckworth. Oh, if you have not read this book, run and go get this one too. This is basically how to understand passion and how to use what your habits and talents are to make more of your life. And it is so good. I love Angela Duckworth. It's such a great book. Okay, number 24 is The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry by John Mark Comer. This book is basically about how to slow down and see how crazy life is around us and how important it is to just stop and pause and reflect and get rid of your phone and get rid of social media and just go outside and sit and read a book in the quiet and spend time with your family. And if you haven't read this one, I highly recommend it as well. It is one that everybody should read just so they can understand how to slow down and see the good around them. Number 25 is Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor E. Frankl. This is another one from a Holocaust survivor. And as I said before, anybody who's able to come out of the Holocaust with a smile on their face and able to see good around them deserves to be read. This is a story that helps you see the beauty that can be found even in the worst circumstances. And he's one that I'm excited to meet because he took such a terrible thing and turned it into so much good. He wrote lots of books and he shared so much about psychology after going through the concentration camp. And he shared good with the world after going through so much pain and darkness. I hope you enjoyed this list of books, 25 books that have changed my life. Reading is one of those things where you can just get lost in a story. You can read a book just for fun because it's something that you want to just get lost in and forget what's going on in your life. You can read a book to learn. You can read a book to remember and reminisce and meet people. And I love thinking of books as friends and the characters that are in them as people that I'm excited to meet and to learn from. And I hope that if you haven't read some of these books that you will. They have changed my life for the good. And with each book that I've read, I've wanted to be a better person and to share it with other people. And that's what reading really is. It's gathering information and knowledge, taking it into your life and making your life better, and then sharing it with other people around you. So I hope that you enjoyed this. Happy reading and studying.